Welcome to the Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. This is Maria Liberati, and we're celebrating this month of April, the birthday of the Maria Liberati Show. Yes, it was started 1 year ago this month last year. But also, all month of April, we are celebrating Leonardo da Vinci. His birthday was April 15th, and we're celebrating his life and his legacy. And as mentioned on all of my episodes in April, please like and share the podcast, and you will be entered into a drawing to win a copy of my book, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Da Vinci Style, that is it's themed about Leonardo da Vinci, the places in Italy that he lived in when he did a variety of works of art and different projects. And also there are different cities and towns in Italy. One is when he lived in France at the very end of his life, but each chapter does have recipes that relate to those places that Da Vinci lived in, and stories about Da Vinci's life in those very places, and the recipes that were traditional there. They're traditional recipes. So please like and share the episodes, and you'll be entered into a drawing. We'll be picking a winner at the end of the month. You'll be getting an autographed copy of The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Da Vinci Style. And before I forget, we're having a special hybrid event. So it's virtual, but it's also hybrid because we're doing a live event. It's a Mother's Day Tuscan picnic event. And if you're in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, or really anywhere around the world, you can do it virtually. But the Mother's Day Tuscan Picnic event will be live. We're doing it at a showroom kitchen. It's just a beautiful showroom kitchen. It's Gaiman Design and Remodeling in Harleysville, Pennsylvania. It's a showroom kitchen that I'll be doing the live event. And I think we can get about 10 people in the live event. And then the rest will be virtual. And of course, if you're not in the area, you can do this virtual also. The Mother's Day Tuscan Picnic event will be a cooking demo and somewhat of a cooking class of 4 Tuscan picnic themed recipes that make a great addition to your Mother's Day brunch or lunch or dinner. And I'll be cooking them, demonstrating them, and we'll be doing a sampling for the 10 of you that come live to the event, so you'll get to taste that also. The people that attend the event, the attendees at the live event, and also the virtual event, will get a recipe card or recipe cards for some of the recipes that I do, the 4 recipes. And let's see, so you can join this event. You can register for this event at eventbrite.com. You can go to my page, marialiberati.com, my website, marialiberati.com, and you'll see a link on my page for the Mother's Day Tuscan Picnic event. And then when you get to eventbrite.com, you can select if you want to do the live event or the virtual event. So the live event is Saturday, May 8th from 1 to 3 p.m. at Gaiman Design and Remodeling in Harleysville, Pennsylvania. So feel free, join and register on eventbrite.com, and hope to see you there. We had such a great time at my last virtual event. We had people from all over the USA joining in, and that was our traditional Easter bread cook-along that we did in April. So hope to see those of you that I had the pleasure of meeting in my last event, and others. Please join in, and if you can do the event live, love to have you. And in honor of Leonardo da Vinci, I'd like to start off this episode, this segment. First, I should say that Da Vinci, many of you should know or do know that Da Vinci was born in the Tuscan region of Italy. He was born in Tuscany, in this little town in Tuscany. And the Tuscans do have their own dialect. And there are words that are typically Tuscan dialect. They're not what you would call correct Italian. It's Tuscan dialect. So in some of my segments, I have been picking an international word of the day, and I wanted to start off this episode with some typical Tuscan dialect. And if you have any others, but keep it clean, please write in or share those on social media, hashtag the Maria Liberati Show, and share your favorite Tuscan dialect words. So actually, my favorite word is desinade. Desinade is a Tuscan word that means to lunch, but lunch for Italians is usually, and Tuscans, was the principal meal, the main large meal. So to desinade was to have your main meal or to lunch. That is a Tuscan dialectic word. It's not Italian, really. It's not correct Italian, but desinade is a Tuscan word. Berciare, which is Berciare, is to scream or to talk loud. So if somebody says, cosa berci, Berci, why are you screaming? Abbozzare, Abbozzare, is to quit or to stop. Bischero, which is Bischero, is a silly person. So you could say, lui è proprio un bischero. He's a real, silly person. They might even call it an idiot. But anyway, imbrocare is to approach and to conquest. So this is kind of when you want to meet someone and that you want to be more than friends with. And il ruzzo is a mess. Hai fatto un ruzzo. You made a mess. Garbade is like, there's this Italian word, piacere, which means to like. But in Tuscan, you could say garbade, Garbare, and that means to like. And that is your Tuscan lesson for today. That's our Tuscan dialect. So right now, most of us cannot travel internationally, but we can travel through things that we read, through our mind, through the things that we do, and through this podcast. So one of my favorite ways of traveling is my souvenirs of remembering visits to these magnificent cities and towns. So today we're taking a trip to one of my favorite towns in Italy called Mantua or Mantua. And Leonardo da Vinci had a special connection to this city, and it's not in Tuscany, but there's a special connection. So I'm going to read a post that I did on my blog after visiting, and stay tuned too, because I have a recipe, a traditional recipe. Oh, it's so good. It's called a torta Sbrisolana di Mantua. It comes from Mantua. It's a kind of a version of a coffee cake that comes from there, but it's oh so much better. Wandering through the elegant little streets of the city of Mantua can be an excellent way to spend an afternoon. But the last time I visited, I spent most of my day visiting the palaces of the Gonzagas. The city is dripping with culture from a time past, from the Teatro Accademico, where Mozart appeared, to many visits by Leonardo da Vinci because of a close friendship he had with Isabella d'Este, the daughter of the Duke of Ferrara. Isabella married one of the Gonzagas, and she ruled Mantua for a time. Mantua or Mantova. Because of her, the city literally became a cultural center. Almost every notable artist of her day painted her portrait, and her effect, even though many years ago, is still felt in some way as you stroll through this town. After a long day of strolling and wandering through the Gonzaga's home, a welcome stop was a local restaurant. Now, I can't remember exactly what I ordered there, but I do remember that the meal ended with this traditional torta or cake from Mantova, which is the Italian way of saying Mantua. It is the torta Sbrisolana di Mantova. The flavor has never left me as elegant and delicious as the town itself. It's a crumbly, buttery cornmeal cake, and here's my recipe for a torta Sbrisolana di Mantua. And this will be on my blog at marialiberati.com, and create this recipe, take a photo, share it, hashtag it the Maria Liberati Show, and you will be entered in the drawing to win an autographed copy of The Basic Art of Italian Cooking Da Vinci Style. So the torta Sbrisolana di Mantua, or Mantova, here are the ingredients. 1.5 cups of cornmeal flour, a half a cup of white flour, 1 cup of chopped almonds, 3/4 cup of butter, 2 egg yolks, a half a cup of sugar, grated zest of 1 lemon, 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla, and confectioner's sugar for topping. In a bowl, place the flours, the egg yolks, the lemon zest, the softened butter. Do not melt the butter. You should leave the butter sit at room temperature for about an hour, depending on the temperature of your room. It should be a half hour to an hour before you are preparing the recipe. And add in the vanilla also. Blend the mixture until the dough is well blended but kind of crumbly still. Then what you're going to do is you're going to cover a cake pan with parchment paper. Now, if you don't have parchment paper, you can butter and dust the pan with some flour to grease the pan, but I prefer parchment paper. Then you're going to crumble the crumbly batter into this cake pan and bake this in the oven preheated to 350 degrees for 1 hour. Remove from the oven and cool before removing from the pan. Dust with powdered sugar before serving. And if you use parchment paper, when the cake is cool, you can just pick up the ends of the parchment paper, take out the cake, and put it on a serving plate. Now, if you want to make this gluten-free, because many people ask me about making recipes gluten-free, just be sure that all your ingredients are gluten-free. Now, cornmeal flour is gluten-free because it's made with corn. The white flour is not, but it's very easy to get all-purpose flour in the supermarket or online. That's all you need to do is substitute the all-purpose gluten-free flour, substitute that for the white flour, and you'll have a gluten-free dessert that you can eat. And it's just as good as the regular recipe. Don't forget, make the recipe, take a picture, share it, hashtag the Maria Liberati Show to be entered in the drawing to win a copy of The Basic Art of Italian Cooking Da Vinci Style. My favorite herb is lavender. And to take a quote from Leonardo da Vinci, but also sort of a recipe, he said, to make a perfume, take some rose water and wash your hands in it. Then take a lavender flower and rub it with your palms, and you will achieve the desired effect. Lavender is one of my favorite herbs for its flavor, but also for its romantic lure. Even Da Vinci appreciated its beautiful, fragrant aroma. Place it at your front door for good luck, and as legend has it, you can also place it at the front door of someone you want to cast a love spell on. It also brings back memories of Tuscany and grand Tuscan villas surrounded with lavender and legend. And legend also has it that it protects you from the evil eye. The evil eye is the bad luck that, in times past, people used to wish on you. So the lavender, the legend has it that it protects you from the evil eye. Lavender also has its place in the kitchen. It does have a strong flavor, so be sure not to overdo it, and purchase only culinary lavender when using it in recipes. It's great crushed into sugar to flavor iced tea or on grilled chicken, infused with butter or olive oil. Use it with lemon in cakes or cookies. I wanted to share some of my book, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking Da Vinci Style. All this month we're celebrating the birthday of Leonardo da Vinci. His birthday is on April 15th. He certainly did enough to dedicate a whole month to him for everything that he did. And I wanted to share some of the book since, as mentioned, if you share an episode, like an episode, hashtag the Maria Liberati Show, share, photos of the recipes that I've done all month, and hashtag the Maria Liberati Show, and you'll be entered into a drawing to win an autographed copy of this very book, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Da Vinci Style. It's one of my actually most popular books. I always get asked to do presentations on this book, and this is actually the introduction. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, which was a quote by Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci discovered that just as proper proportions had an effect on the canvas, they also had an effect at the table, and he applied this philosophy to both the table and the canvas. Balance is everything. That is the true secret to healthy Italian cooking: sophisticated simplicity and the art of balancing fresh artisan flavors all in correct proportion. The Mediterranean diet of today was strongly influenced by Da Vinci's philosophy of eating elegantly and simply, a diet based on eating Mother Nature's freshest and best artisan foods, from fresh vegetables, fruits, beans, grains, artisan olive oils, and cheeses to freshly baked whole grain breads. This is the stuff that a healthy diet is based on. Then there was his invention of silverware and other cooking apparatus that added to his many other discoveries. Da Vinci was a true Renaissance man, creating inventions in many different fields. And those inventions we spoke about in last week's episode, where I interviewed Dave DeWitt, who is a food historian. So check out last week's episode. But this book is dedicated to Leonardo's genius and culinary accomplishments, from his influence at the table to his culinary flavored poetry. And in Leonardo da Vinci's notebook, among many things, there were recipes also, but there were also poems that he wrote about different fruits, nut trees and fruit trees, because he loved nature, and he would just sit and stare at objects of nature, be it animals or the sky, fruit trees, nut trees. And they were written, of course, in an old Italian language, but we did have someone that specializes in translating Old Italian, a professor named Anthony Crisafulli, translate some of the poems found in Da Vinci's notebook, and they were specifically, as mentioned, poems that were about nut trees and fruits. The first one is called "Why Nut Trees Should Be Humble." The nut tree stood by the side of the road, displaying her wealth in every man who marveled at her beauty with casting stones in hand. The next poem is titled "The Envious Peach and Her Demise." The envious peach tree watched the nut produce great quantities, so she resolved to do the same. "No one outdoes me." When the harvest came, her children did abound, which caused her roots to snap and broke her to the ground. And the last poem that I'm going to read, of course there were more, but this one is called "The Laurel, the Myrtle, and the Pear." The pear laid on the ground and at her base, while the laurel and myrtle yelled perennial jeers. "Where are you going?" they cackled in haste, "stripped of your pride that you get each year. No longer will you shade us by your mass, and all of your praises will be ours at last." The pear replied, "The man of the orchard decided to chop and escort me to a great sculptor shop, where by his art I'll be fashioned like Jove to reside in the temple of the sacred grove. I speak the truth, you'll visit this place after you're stripped of your branches to garnish my grace." Thanks for listening to the Maria Liberati Show, where all this month we are celebrating Leonardo da Vinci. It's his birthday on April 15th. It was his birthday. We're also celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Maria Liberati Show. And at the end of the month, we will be giving away autographed copies of one of my most popular books, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Da Vinci Style. Don't forget to like and share and hashtag the Maria Liberati Show, and you could win a copy of The Basic Art of Italian Cooking Da Vinci Style. Create one of the recipes that I give in my podcast episodes this month and share it on social media. Hashtag it The Maria Liberati Show, and you'll be entered in a drawing to win a copy, an autographed copy of The Basic Art of Italian Cooking Da Vinci Style. And I want to thank my producer, Britton Roselle, for another great episode. But do want to remind everybody, please join me. If you are in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area on Saturday, May 8th from 1 to 3 p.m., I will be doing a Mother's Day Tuscan picnic, 4-course sampling, cooking demo, cooking class at Gaiman Design and Remodeling in Harleysville, PA. It's 355 Main Street. You can register for the event at eventbrite.com, or you can go on my website at marialiberati.com. If you are not close by or you can't come to the live event, you can still register for the virtual event. So we are doing a virtual event for a 4-course Mother's Day Tuscan picnic sampler, and you'll also receive recipe cards for the recipes in this event. So please join us. We had so much fun last month. We did an Easter bread bake-along, and I loved meeting everyone all around the country. That one was a virtual Zoom event, but this one should be fun too. It's a hybrid event, so we have live for those that can attend and virtual for those that cannot. And again, you can register for either of those events on eventbrite.com or go to marialiberati.com. Or if you have any questions, you can write to us at info@marialiberati.com as well. Hope to see you there at those events. And again, you can find me at marialiberati.com. You can find my Gourmand World award-winning book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, which includes The Basic Art of Italian Cooking Holidays and Special Occasions, and The Basic Art of Italian Cooking Da Vinci Style, which we're giving away at the end of the month for those that like and share the episode. So we're going to have a drawing for giveaways for a signed copy of The Basic Art of Italian Cooking Da Vinci Style. So please like and share these episodes or create some of the recipes I give during these episodes and share a photo of it. Hashtag it The Maria Liberati Show, and you'll be entered in the drawing to win a signed copy of The Basic Art of Italian Cooking Da Vinci Style. You can also find my other books, The Basic Art of Coffee, The Basic Art of Pizza, The Basic Art of Pasta, The Basic Art of Creating a Tuscan Style Wedding, The Basic Art of Cocktails, and The Basic Art of Experiencing Venice, and The Basic Art of Christmas Dinner. You can find those at marialiberati.com, at artoflivingprimamedia.com, or anywhere books are sold online. And you can also find me on my blog at marialiberati.com, on Twitter at Maria Liberati, and that's with a capital M. Let's see, on Facebook at Chef Maria Liberati, on LinkedIn at M for Maria, M Liberati, on Instagram at Maria Liberati. And you can find me on my Roku channel on YouTube. It's The Basic Art of Italian Cooking by Maria Liberati is my Roku channel. There's lots of videos there that I did in Italy and some in the US, some cooking videos, and we are adding some more videos shortly. So take a look if you have Roku. You can find my Roku channel, and of course you can also find me on YouTube. And until next time, peace, love, and pasta.